During a university lecture, Professor Julian talks about Neanderthals, an extinct group of archaic humans. He explains they supposedly were very dumb and absolute savages, based on the studies of Darwin and Galton. Their theories could tell how civilized and intelligent someone was just by their appearance. Julian disagrees, saying current humanity has a bit of Neanderthal in them. He also reveals that the world's only non-fossilized Neanderthal was found by his boss and was named William after the scientist who recognized Neanderthals as a separate species. He finishes the lecture by pointing out it could theoretically be possible to create a living Neanderthal using William's DNA. Endocrinologist Barbara watches the entire lecture, and later that day she looks for Julian at a restaurant. She brings up the possibility of cloning William, which would be very hard and complicated but not impossible. They spend their dinner discussing the details behind the process, and by the end of the evening, Barbara is curious to know why Julian's obsessed with Neanderthals in particular. To answer that, Julian takes Barbara to his lab and shows her two stone tools. One was made by Homo sapiens, and the other one by Neanderthals. There's no difference between them, so Julian thinks they could learn a lot about humanity by studying our closest cousin. That night Julian and Barbara fall in love. From then on the couple starts working on the Neanderthal cloning project, and in only 2 years they release 3 groundbreaking papers on the subject. They also move in together and have a wonderful romantic life. Unfortunately, many important scientists and university donors are worried about the morals behind this project and the potential backlash, so they cancel their support. However, the couple refuses to give up, and Barbara decides she'll carry the cloned embryo while letting everyone else think she's having a normal pregnancy. Afterward, the couple goes to Las Vegas and gets married by an Elvis impersonator. A few months later, Barbara gives birth in the hospital. The nurses share a disgusted look before handing the baby to the happy mother. The couple isn't bothered by the child's ugly appearance, and Julian even kisses the boy's forehead. Sometime later, Julian drops by the university to drop some paperwork explaining what he and his wife did. The higher-ups organize an emergency meeting, afraid of what this may do to the university's reputation. They don't like the project, but for now they decide to be supportive so they can get publicity and hopefully get a chance to control it. The next morning, Julian organizes a press conference to tell the world about the Neanderthal clone created by using cell nuclear transfer. A reporter asks about the morality of it, so Julian shows them a cute clip of the baby and asks how something so beautiful could be immoral. After the conference is over, Julian's boss reminds him that the board has a final say on anything that happens to the project. Many years later, the baby is now a young man called William. Barbara drives him to the forest and they say goodbye to each other before William leaves for his dad's house. He looks around for a while before reaching the balcony with a great view of the river. 2 tourists pass by on a boat, and when they see William's ugly face, they start rowing faster. William goes back inside and finds the ancient stone tool on one of the shelves. Suddenly he's startled by a noise, but it's only his new tutor Sarah. She explains Julian is at work and William can't help feeling awkward around a stranger. That night Julian joins them for dinner and Sarah notices William eats a lot, so Julian explains that William's metabolism is different and requires more calories than the average person. After dinner, Julian tells William he's proud of him for following his dreams.